And Harrigan blows time on. Melbourne running right to left. And Peachy gets the first touch for Cronulla. First use of the football. And Nathan Long is the first man tackled. 15 metres out from his own line. They pull the jumper over his head, and Martin Lang takes the second play. Over towards the eastern side of the ground, Glenn Lazarus, the first there in defence. Now Pearce, the front rower, who scored a try in the first 2 minutes of the match we did here a couple of weeks ago for Cronulla, off a mistake made by Canberra. Such a start he'll be dreaming about again today. As Sean Ryan reaches the 40-metre line on tackle 5. Cronulla successfully through their first set. They've completed it impeccably. The kick down the ground, not that good. Marcus Bai taken down by Andrew Eddinghausen. And maybe pushed back down by Nathan Long. He could have given a penalty. Aaron Newell, second Melbourne player tackled. Rodney Howe is the third. Already the match being played with great gusto. There's a lot of urgency, and it's careful as you go. They're both very keen to complete their sets. A day when you've got to keep mistakes down. It's really a day for the kickers and a day for good handling. Kamali stepping, and the ball has gone down to ground.
It's come off Nick Graham, Ray, so I think we'll see a Melbourne scrum feed here. Kamali faced some pressure on the last tackle there, and I think Graham, in going for the intercept, has got the touch.
'21st round of the NRL Premiership. We are in the home running. Right in the centre of the ground, and a tremendous opportunity for Melbourne. Paul Bell thought about it. David Peachy changed his mind. Anderson now, and a running Rodney Howe. 12 away, centre ground, as you can see. And Swain goes across looking for Marquette and finding him. To the right again, they continue the wrap. Nick Howe, one of the danger players, put away on the eastern side. Kamali. Anderson got a bad ball from the halfback. Unlike Kamali, the pass. Now it's with him again for the kick. Tries the grubber. And back there to take it and get it back into the field of play is the Sharks' number 6, Adam Dykes.
Yeah, well, there was 4 or 5 Melbourne chases there, but Dykes did well. A nice step got him back into the field of play. And they avert the early pressure from the Melbourne Storm. I think there's a line of them. There's at least 4 or 5 there.
And a knock on by Cronulla by the wing three-quarter Brett Howland. At that play the ball, while we're in the other replay, that's what happened. So Melbourne come back with a great opportunity again. There's the scrum. 10 away from the line. Kamali for Anderson. Anderson for Bell. No Martin today. They'll miss him. He's a very fine centre. Rod Howe. Melbourne pushing it to the left corner. Swain taking it back to the centre now. Nick Howe is out in about the inside centre position. They're looking for him. Now he's got it to the 10-metre line. Kearney's with him. And Kearney pulled down. They're the two. You've got to contain them. Kamali with a short ball for Marquette on 5. Still they're close to the line. Kamali pulled down. That's a turnover for Cronulla. And the Sharks fans will be saying to themselves, now come on, can we get out of here safely?
Well, that's a real confidence builder there for the Sharks. Great defence to deny Melbourne being over the line. Plenty of attacking opportunity early in the game, and the Storm have been repelled. Kamali thought he saw a little gap on the last, but it closed very quickly.
So all the opportunities have been with Melbourne in the opening 4 minutes of the game. Healy pushing it along. Catch and pass by Dykes for Peachy coming in. Be great to see this battle today. They won't confront each other, obviously, but here's the other fellow I'm talking about, Robbie Ross. Got the State of Origin jumper ahead of David Peachy. And that brought one of the season's most documented controversies. But you've got to say that Robbie Ross has got his job done at representative level and more so at club level. He's changed the opinion of a lot of people, and he did it on the park.
Right, I thought he was New South Wales Player of the Series as Anderson crunched there by Mitch Healy coming up quickly.
Just inside the 20-metre line. Sorry, Peter.
No, it was Dykes, I'm sorry.
Now Marquette running off a short pass from Howe. Centre of the ground, Swain to the right. Kamali goes further. They're out there again and again, knocked down by Cronulla. Melbourne won't mind that. It'll be another loose-headed feed for them. A 10-metre scrum, 20 metres in.
Yeah, there's plenty of ball so far for the Melbourne Storm.
So here they come again. With Anderson pulled down by Peachy. And there they are again. Familiar territory. Rodney Howe breaking from the scrum quickly. Takes the second play. Swain busy. Marquette equal to it. Now Glenn Lazarus met by Martin Lang. That's a big tackle for him. On the line. Swain. Kamali. Turning Kearney in. Kearney beats one. He's over Kearney. It had to come. It just had to come. Cronulla's tackle count incredibly high by comparison. And Stephen Kearney has gone in. There was close contact with his fullback, but I don't think there's any problem.
No, in the end it came fairly comfortably for Stephen Kearney. Slipped out of 2 tackles. Robbie Ross, well, he did deny one of the Sharks players getting to Stephen Kearney. So there was a touch of controversy about the try, but there wasn't too much complaint from the defensive team. Kearney so strong and gets over under the post.
So Matt Geyer will convert the try scored by Stephen Kearney. It was either going to be Kearney or Nickau. They were playing to them wide, and then Kearney came down the centre, and Geyer adds another 2 points. It is 6 points to nil after 8 minutes in favour of the visiting team from Melbourne. Healy. Penalty to Cronulla. It's against Melbourne inside the 10. Surely they'll take the kick. This is Mitch Healy from 11 out. Right in front. And the Cronulla veteran puts 2 points on the board for the home side. Melbourne by 4. Marquette. Correction. Rorty. Now for Kamali. Anderson through the hands. Ross. And here's a break being made by Melbourne. And down the far side of the ground, Paul Bell. Anderson backs up Anderson. Anderson is there. Anderson's over to score. Bill Harrigan is pointing to the spot. Melbourne have scored a 50-metre try.
It's a wonderful try. Running the ball on the last tackle. Really did well here, Melbourne. Kamali offloads. Frees it there. You can see the winger has already dropped back for Cronulla. So we've got the overlap out wide. And as play continues, they take advantage of it nicely. Bell goes off the pass from Geyer. He looks at Robbie Ross on the inside, takes the tackle of Peachy, and Ben Anderson did very well, not only to get to the line, but to be there to back up. Peachy trying to knock the ball out of his arms. They've constructed this well on the last tackle. All the players staying behind Kamali to give him the option of running the football.
And the smartest piece of play here was this by Paul Bell. He could see support on the inside in Ross, but he could also see that he was covered. Didn't pass the ball, held it up, and then Ben Anderson gets what is his first try in first grade.
1 from 1 already for Matt Geyer. He's 18 in from touch, and he's 18 out. But nothing's easy with the breeze today. On its way, and a further 2 points to the Melbourne total. Melbourne in command, 12-2. Rorty, Ross, Nickau. He beats Madison, gets it away for Ross. Ross gets it away and pulled down his bell. Last tackle, and they got numbers on the right. Nickau, catch and pass, Geyer's in. Matt Geyer goes in to score yet another try. Great pass by Nickau, has set it up. 16-2, Melbourne are giving the Sharks a lesson at the moment.
Melbourne moved to 16, and Matt Geyer has that many tries now this season. Nickau again, beautiful work to Robbie Ross. Bell on his right-hand side, a nice try-saving tackle from Paul Mellor. But as the play the ball takes place and we freeze it there, You can see that there's just no troops out there. Only 3 players for Cronulla, 3 on the outside of those for Melbourne. And Nick Howe again involved, catch and pass onto Matt Geyer, and he improves the position for himself. Just no cover defence able to get back because the ball was played nice and quickly.
Yeah, well, they're pretty hot today, the Melbourne Storm. They had a bit of a lull there, didn't they, for three odd weeks. They got beaten 3 times in a row. They played well to beat Canberra last week, and they brought their game to Shark Park today. Some inside balls are working for them. It was all started, though, by Rorty, who popped the ball backwards. Looked when he looked like he was dead, but he popped it out to Robbie Ross, who then backed up the Nick Howe break.
Now Matt Geyer. Would you believe, if you're a Melbourne fan worried about the number 6 position, which is not a worry at the moment, this kid played most of his junior football in that position and would love to have another shot at it. Misses the goal. 16-2, 23rd minute. Melbourne over Cronulla. Kearney and Marquette. They always take a look over the shoulder because there's a little fella yapping at them. Robbie Ross. I'm always here. Kern. Geyer. Kamali. Now Aaron Mule. Just inside the 10. Attacking the bay end of the ground. Kearney and Nick Howe are wide together. They've gone across for Tawera. Now they put on an angle. Kearney gets a flick pass away. Robbie Ross's pass goes away from Kamali, and it's gone over the dead ball line. Rodney Howe eventually having to put the kick on it. And half-time is only a matter of seconds away. In fact, it's gone already. So there's the half-time break. And Melbourne are leading Cronulla by 14 points, 16 points to 2. He said, what do you reckon it is, Mitch? Is it a 12-point breeze or what? And that's exactly what Mitch Healy is hoping. Firstly, that it might even be about 16 points because they're trailing 16-2. And the first play of the second half ends with Marcus Bond. Kearney now. Breeze coming down the ground this half behind Cronulla and blowing it around about 20 knots. And Melbourne, I was about to say made full use of it. I don't think that's exactly right, in fact, but it didn't disadvantage them, that's for sure.
I think this is a breeze that Kamali will be able to kick into quite well because he keeps the ball low.
Talking of Kamali, that's his first kick of the second half, and David Peachey bringing it back. A little bit of a problem for Nick Graham. He gets up clutching at his head. In fact, it's Dean Treaster clutching at the head. There he is. Steve Roach is back from the sheds with Cronulla getting the first penalty of the second half. Yes, Steve?
Yeah, I've got Russell Bowden with me, the Storm back rower. Good performance in the first half. A powerful performance from the Melbourne Storm forwards especially. Kept poking their heads through.
Yeah, that's right. I think our forwards have come here to do a job, and thank God they've got over the attacking style the Cronulla forwards have got. So if they keep doing that in this second half and cut down the mistakes, I think we'll come up with a victory.
Well, the best thing about the performance in the first half for mine was their ability to run the ball on the last tackle. They had a bit of luck, got a couple of tries.
Yeah, we had a look at that during the week, and you know, we've said to ourselves, if we can see something happening on the fifth and last, don't go for the kick, just go for the try, and it come up trumps in the first half.
Any mention of running into the breeze in the second half?
Yeah, Chris Anderson didn't actually want to run into the breeze in the second half. He wanted to do it in the first half, so we come with a wet sail. But it's come up trumps, and all we have to do now is defend our heart out for this second half.
Russ, what about your position, having a little bit of a rest this week? Could be back next week?
Yeah, mate, a couple of niggling injuries. Hopefully back next week. He just wanted a team on the field that was 100%.
Well, thanks very much, mate, for your time.
No problem, brother.
Cronulla back on the attack, back to the rear, Rabs.
Yeah, I'm just watching this. There's a chance for Cronulla. They're over the line, and Colin Best puts it down. Bill Harrigan points to the spot. It's a try for Cronulla. Mitch Healy with a perfect kick, and 16-6 now.
It's stating the obvious, but that's exactly what Cronulla needed early in this second half. It'll give them confidence, and the kick was a beauty. Straight across, Marcus Bai flew high and it bounced straight into the arms of Colin Best. He's been a good player in the absence of Matt Rogers for the last few weeks, and he gets another one here. I'm sure that this will not be the last time we see this combination attempted in this second 40 minutes.
Yeah, what he did there, Healy, was he used the wind to his advantage. Like a nice 9-9, he just drifted it out there and let the wind do the work. He drew it in. Plenty of Sharkies chases there.
He's never kicked a more important goal than the one he landed against Auckland to get them home last weekend. I would imagine in reasonably similar conditions, wind-wise. Here he is from out near the sideline. I tell you what, oh, he's got it. Beautiful stuff. 16-8, Stephen.
Yeah, exactly what John Lang said to his team at half-time. If we control the ball, we'll get down in a position to put up the high ball. He wanted his team to commit themselves in the high ball, exactly what they did there. He asked for more commitment in defence. He said his team knew it was going to be tough. He said they've got to dominate. Have a look at that kick there from Healy. That will boost their confidence.
Peachy now into the back line, floating into the back line. Cronulla, Colin Best will score, will he? Colin Best. Well, he had little room to work in.
I don't know if he has scored, has
I don't think he has, as a matter of fact, but it was a tremendous passing rush by Cronulla, and this kid never ceases to amaze me.
What a great set play there from the tap. You don't often see try scored from taps. It's Robbie Ross over in cover defence. Does he get it down in time? Oh, it looks like he does.
Yeah, it's a try.
Well, this man is just an incredible finisher. I thought he maybe had gone into touch before he got it down, but that replay proves that it is a try. Well, to the crowd it's proven.
That's rugby league at its best, isn't it? Excuse the pun. But Colin Best gets the ball down. Robbie Ross, he put his body on the line for the second time in about as many minutes. And that's a try. I don't think it's touched the outside line before. The ball's been put down on the inside. It'll be a green light. And we have a ball game.
Well, it's a try.
He's given the try.
It's a try, and as I said, what a great set play. It's one of those ones that John Lang and his troops would have practiced at training for months and months, waiting for a chance to pull it out. They've done it here.
Just have a look at the second man here. They don't read in defence. One of the Melbourne players comes in. As we freeze it there, you can see the man who, on the outside, Aaron Mule, he should have stayed out and had a bit more confidence on his inside men. But beautifully constructed by Cronulla.
I'm just wondering, with the last-ditch tackle, whether a conventional tackle would have sufficed, but maybe he couldn't get there in time. He was struggling anyway.
Look at that crossbar blowing in the breeze. That's how strong it is behind Cronulla in the second half. And the team's running with the breeze. Healy from the touchline. Healy, oh-ho! 16-14 at the 54. They're starting to fire. Oh, Peachy! The Peachy dummy! Then Dykes. Now back for Peachy. Peachy away and into the corner. Sean Ryan. Ryan. Try for Sean Ryan. Well, Houdini. He has struck. Houdini has struck.
Now, I thought the first half was as good as we've seen from a football team this year. Put the football in their hands from Melbourne. Have a look at the vision here. As we freeze it there, you can see there are 2 Melbourne players, there are 4 Cronulla players, and David Peachy has called for it and taken them on. It's the last tackle, don't forget. He throws the dummy. Bell stayed with his men on the outside. Dykes did a great job, popped it over his shoulder, and then missed. Wow, it's just beautiful stuff. Mellor involved and Ryan gets the try.
It's just magic football. Cronulla were ordinary the first half, but what a great second half they've had. With the win, with the penalties, it doesn't matter. It's champagne stuff. And this man decided to have a run. He's been fairly quiet, but he's taken them on and set up a beautiful Sharks try. Look at that for ad-lib football. Is there someone there? Is there what? It's David Peachey again, and then Sean Ryan out wide. He's got plenty of speed for a back rower and finishes it off nicely. Right in the corner.
He'll start this about 4 metres out from the right of the upright, I'd reckon. Well,
we've got Keith Barnes in the box.
4 metres.
I used to kick for Corindai. There's the kick. Oh, look out, look out. No, it hasn't got the distance. What are you talking about? He kicked it 4 metres out to the right of the upright.
And missed.
Why are you laughing? It's 18-16, the Sharks over Melbourne.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do when you get a little bit of a sniff too. And this bloke has just injected himself into the game. Peachey, look at the speculator here from Dykes. He knew Peachey was alive. And Mellor catching past the Ryan.
Cow for Anderson. Anderson away from the cow. Mule is there and away. Down the left side goes Aaron Mule. Peachey in cover brings him down beautifully. Melbourne a chance. Kamali. Kearney. Rorty. Kearney. 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 Kearney the great. That is absolutely sensational stuff. Well done, Stephen Kearney. 20 points to 18.
Well done, Melbourne. They've weathered the storm. Aaron Mule has busted the tackle of Andrew Eddinghausen. He's got good speed, this young kid. And he tries to get on the outside. A try-saver from Peachey. Had a little bit of luck on the far side here when Rorty tried to force a pass, but it bounced back to Kearney. Here it comes now, into the hands, off Bell. And he just takes him on. He beats Peachey, steps out of the tackle of Ryan and storms his way across. And then we have another change in leadership.
Yeah, great work by Stephen Kearney, but let's give the credit to Aaron Mule for that magnificent run. What I liked about it, he didn't slow down, didn't wait for support. He took the fullback on and gained them an extra 10 or 15 metres. And then Kearney, it's been his day today as far as the Melbourne Storm's concerned. Too much power, too much strength. And they hit the lead again.
There she goes. He hasn't allowed enough. So, no change. 2 points the margin. Melbourne back in front of Cronulla. He was returned today. Howe. Halfway. 9 won the penalty. That will be a talking point. Kamali. Kearney. Kearney! Kearney! Here's Robbie Ross! Robbie Ross is away! Ross is in again for another try, and Melbourne, both on and off the park, have absolutely gone berserk. They love it. The players embracing as Robbie Ross comes back. Tremendous support player, and Stephen Kearney. Have a look at this.
He's just had a power game, Stephen Kearney. This is a victory based on character. This is the best possible win that you could have not far out from the playoffs. They've had to dig deep. They've got a good lead, played champagne football. Sharks have stormed back at them, and they've weathered all of that and come out at the other end of the tunnel with a victory. Stephen Kearney scored what looked like to be the match winner. He's now set up what is definitely the match winner.
Well, how long have they been around? A year and a half? I've got no doubt that's their best win ever in their short history. They stormed to lead. They played champagne football to get there. Then they were under a great deal of pressure when the Sharks came back, but this has been a great last 15 minutes.
But just on the penalty count, as we see Matt Guy about to come in to convert that try, it might be 9-1. And the score extended by 2. But I can't blame Bill Harrigan. I haven't seen instances where there have been penalties that should have been awarded.
26-18. Stephen Roach.
Well, it's a good side that can come back when they're down and out. They look like that in the second half. Kearney, this bloke Robbie Ross lives in his pocket. Great offload. And not a touch, not a hand laid on him, right under the post.
I don't know whether you saw it, viewers, but Stephen Kearney had only just slipped the pass to Robbie Ross, and he just jumped in the air, jumped for joy. He knew that Ross had 30 metres to run, but he knew they wouldn't catch him.
Ray, he was inspired. You could see it.
He's also inspired.
Jeez, it's good to have him on the team.
It's fantastic. Mate, you two blokes look good, I know that. But
Gaia.
Great call too, Raz, by the way. You're informed today. Last.
Nickau. Swain. And Kamali. Second man for Rua. I've got to be honest, I thought the Sharks, when they got to 18-16 in front, would absolutely run away from Melbourne. They have shown something today, though, that will only make their supporters more confident that they can take out the premiership. The last seconds of the game, and 26 points to 18. The chase is on, but Gaia will take it to ground under the tackle of Peachy, and there is full time. An amazing second half of football. We saw a brilliant first half from Melbourne. Kearney and Nickau in particular were unanswered by Cronulla, but then the Sharks came back from 16-2 down to lead 18-16 to finally succumb to the Melbourne Storm 26-18.